Welcome back to New Rockstars. Did Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man ever get home in Spider-Man No Way Home? And is there a Skrull running around the MCU fighting strangers with the face of Steve Rogers' Captain America? And how did the Genie even get inside that lamp in that magic tiger cave in the first place? This is Rogue Theory, the show where we talk about the nerdy titles that we love, now with a new format. My name is MT, and going rogue with me today is Spider-Woman's mentor herself. It's the amazing Jessica Clemons. What's going on, Jess?
Hey, I'm doing good. I bet you guys are wondering why I have a blue screen now. And it's because Brandon, our producer, said I fiddle with my keyboard too much the last episode.
Oh, man.
Hey, I don't think it's not. I
so
understand.
funny.
This is the most the heavy punishment I've ever gotten as an adult, and I completely understand. So this is
You just
so I'm in the
clickety
dungeon.
clackety a lot. It happens. It's what you do.
It's okay.
And now I'm looking for something to fiddle with right now. I'm gonna
I
grab
can't
the
believe
boom
that
pole.
Brandon grounded you, and that you're like in detention in the blue dungeon.
It's okay. Hey, the Blue Dungeon is where we all live. It's a nice place to be.
It's true. Look, MT and I are happy being captured. It's
No,
fine. We're fine.
happy
Yes.
in punishment.
We have Stockholm syndrome, baby. We live in here full time, and we love it.
We have the same diet as the Lost Boys from Robin Williams' Peter Pan. We just eat from our imagination.
Yeah, it's pretty
Just
great.
kidding. And of course, we cannot forget about Spider-Gwen's understudy. It's the spectacular Whitney Van Lanningham. What's going on?
Hi. I'm good. I'm having a time. Let's do this.
Yo, I heard that Gwen's back isn't feeling all that great, so I think you might be up next. So get the suit ready. Get the suit ready. Just kidding.
I can do Emma Stone eyeballs, baby. Look at this.
Oh, that's on point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I dig it.
Those are big eyes.
10 out of 10. I'm calling Andrew Garfield right now. He'll get over it.
Call him.
Just kidding.
I'll be like, hi, hello. It's me.
It's me, your dead girlfriend.
Your dead girlfriend.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry about her, but I want to hang out.
Let's just play pretend. Just kidding. All right, now it is time for our Rogue Theory query. All right, gang, because Peter Parker did not know that you could just use a telephone to call a college, something fishy is happening in the spider side of the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. First, we had Peter Spell bring our favorite Sony villains and heroes into the MCU, only for the return spell to end up sending Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture, into a completely different universe, presumably because he knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. This now establishes that Doctor Strange's return spell did not work as Doctor Strange intended, and could potentially run the risk of those affected by it, like Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man, to have no way back home. So we don't know if Tobey made it back home to his unhealthy relationship with Mary Jane, or if Andrew made it back in time to polish the Stacy family grave. So here are my questions for my wonderful panel of big-brained homies. First question is, do you think that Andrew and Tobey Spider-Man actually made it back to their home universes? And two, if not, where do you think they went?
I mean, my immediate thought is wherever Tobey went, I hope to God it was a hospital. Because he was bleeding. He was bleeding
he was
a lot.
stabbed.
Like, if he got, like, I understand, like, maybe he didn't get sent back to his universe. But, like, at least I hope that wherever he ended up, there was, like, an ER with a surgical team on standby. And a nurse with a very steady hand. And a needle and some painkillers. Because he was bleeding a lot. He got stabbed.
He was full-on stabbed, like, literally in the back by the Green Goblin. So, like...
And it's not the first time he's been stabbed in the back by the Green Goblin.
I know. It's a bitch move.
Hey, you gotta watch your back. If you got Green Goblin as an enemy.
Tell it to our
Yeah,
faces.
Right.
That's bitch moves.
It really
bitch
is. It's a
seriously.
bitch move.
Okay, so you want to hear how stupid I am? And actually, it's actually
You're
not
not
stupid.
stupid.
You're not
This
stupid. Oh my God,
this
tell us
is
everything.
Studious. I typed out all my answers for today's Rogue Theory.
Oh my
Because
God, don't
my
show
mind-
the viewers your
I typed
answers.
too, but mine are on a Word document. I don't have access to a printer like a mongrel.
The thing is, it would be on my
mongrel.
normal computer if I wasn't banished to this goddamn
Oh,
blue
true.
dungeon.
You got
It would have been out if I didn't have the blue dungeon. I would have to memorize all the
true.
notes I was gonna say, and I was like, no,
Oh my
these are getting
God.
typed out. These are getting printed. So but I think it's really funny the way I wrote it. So I'm gonna read how I
Yeah.
wrote it first, and then I will explain. I said,
Okay.
like Vulture, they were sent to a different branch, and the post-credit scene to Across the Spider-Verse will reveal both Spideys are trying to find their way back home from the Spidey Hub and Across the Spider-Verse. So I think they got shipped back into the Sony universe, and this is rogue theory. Ultimately, probably they just went back to their own timelines. Yeah, and they're dealing with being stabbed and they're dealing with being cool. But my other theory to it is that they are going to be, instead of Tom Holland being the post-credit or being into this or Across the Spider-Verse, we're going to get Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire that are literally stuck in the Spider Hub because they're like, I can't figure out my way to get back to my normal time. They just sent me here with a bunch of other Spider-Men. Luckily, this one got healed from being stabbed, but also, as an addition, the second part, a different part to that is I also wrote, they did get back to their original time, but now that the villains have changed, like their emotions, they've changed who they are, Butterfly affected their world, causing a new branch, causing some pruning. So I also think that their villains going back to their timeline and not being villains anymore isn't normal. And it would be like, you made a butterfly effect and all this other chaos and all your towns is just ruined now. So they probably
So they made a butterfly effect just because like a few men went to therapy? Yep. That is so messed up that they just break the universe by just sending a couple of guys to therapy.
It's like, but I'm a good person now. And it's like, well, Stan Lee didn't think you were a good person.
Yeah, like, that's not part of the plan, so.
You're not supposed to be.
Sorry.
I feel like that theory is probably such a fun and actual theory for not even just like a villain turning good, but like women dying in comics. Like if they didn't die in the movies, there'd be like a butterfly effect where they're like, well, she was supposed to die, and I'm like, wait, why? What if she just didn't die? What if Gwen never died? What if Gwen's just a hero? And it's like, well, nope, she has to die, or else they won't know that they're doing something good or bad, the boys. So yeah, I think this is a good theory, a sound theory that would happen.
No, I think that like these two theories are really, really good, especially this theory with Tobey and Andrew potentially heading to that little hub of where all the Spider-Men are in Across the Spider-Verse. Because I feel like we're going to see a crossover between the two. I feel like Marvel and Sony are going to work together on a Spider-Verse movie. It's going to be amazing. So I really like that theory a lot. And this idea of the spell basically changing the fates of like changing the timelines of all of these spider people. Because that's essentially what had happened. Changed the fates of all these people. So like maybe the web of life and destiny is all messed up now. I feel like that's a big possibility there.
It'd be funny if Jamie Foxx's Electro was like, wait, I'm good now. And they're like, no, you gotta be bad.
It's like, sorry, you have to be bad.
He's killing people. Sorry. He's like, I didn't want to do this. The Eternals are making me do this.
I mean, like, maybe we can actually see that happen. The Eternals.
The Celestials are gonna fucking wipe our planets if I don't kill everybody.
Big Tiamat made me do it, I swear.
They're like, in that universe, there's no Tiamat. They're like, who the is a Tiamat? What is a Tiamat?
It's like, what the hell is that? It was like, they got purple aliens over there. We don't understand what's going on. But yeah, no, I like these theories a lot. What do you think, Whitney?
Okay, so here's what I think. Because like I said, I think that Tobey, no matter what, had to end up in a hospital. And here's where he landed. He landed in the version of the universe because, okay, let's take a little time machine back to whenever the Morbius trailer came out. I don't remember when that was. I have mentally blocked it out, the date, but
it was like a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I hope you guys know that I was the person who wrote all the notes for the Morbius trailer breakdowns, which means that I've seen the Morbius trailer 900 billion million times.
You're allowed to.
You're welcome, basically. You're very welcome.
I want to kill myself. But that's a joke. That's a joke. So here's what I think. In that trailer, there was a version of the trailer where he goes, Dr. Michael Morbius at your service. And as we all know, that line was not actually in the movie. So I think that Tobey got sent to the universe where Michael Morbius does say that line. And so when he comes to Dr. Michael Morbius at your service, and then Morbius is like trying super hard not to drink his like blood gushing, but he's a good doctor. So he fixes him up. And then Tobey and Morbius... And then, you know, because like Jared Leto's kind of a weird guy. Tobey Maguire's kind of a weird guy. And I think that them together in a world is bad, and I'm glad that it's not our world. Like, I'm glad that we don't live in a world where they're best friends. In their multiverse, they become best friends, and they have really toxic views towards women, and it's great.
Oh my God. I love this idea of Morbius and like just patching up Tobey Maguire's wound, because like it just it's a natural continuation of that. It works out very well. Like if that actually happened, Michael Morbius helping him out, it's just like it makes a lot of sense, and like it would potentially draw a lot of like eyes towards the Morbius side of things if Tobey Maguire somehow for some reason decided to sign on for Morbius.
It'd be Morbin time.
Would be very
that
weird.
would be the kind of Morbin time that would get us all invested. Because nobody's not going to go watch Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's like the way to get us to watch Morbius, because we'd have to go see Morbin 2.
I mean, like, let's not give them any ideas, but like, it is a good idea to do that.
I'm just saying, if they want us to see Morbius more, if they want more BS, that's what they should do.
I want less BS.
I think that Andrew Garfield... I just want to say he got home safe, because I just want him to.
He's been through enough.
Andrew Garfield changed
like
his
I
mind.
think that maybe he just like got really lucky, and he got zapped back the right way. I want Andrew Garfield to be happy, and I want Tobey to go to a hospital. Those are my only real requirements here. So those are my theories.
Hey, I don't think those are unreachable. I think...
Yeah, I don't think that those are unreachable at all. I like these a lot. And like going on to this Andrew Garfield point, I would love if Andrew Garfield made it into the Spider-Gwen universe. Where like he runs into Spider-Gwen. He's just like, oh my God, you're alive here?
Yeah.
Like this is so nice.
He
and
could
like,
just get his
I want to stay
find
here.
his
He would be so weird. He would be so weird. Because Gwen would be like, first off, I wasn't dating my Peter. He was my best friend. And secondly...
Well, she's dead in her universe.
Well,
also
if he
Andrew
went
Garfield's
to her
like
universe,
super hot, so maybe her Peter wasn't as hot as this Peter, because Andrew Garfield's an attractive man. He just is.
Right.
I'm rooting for a gay Gwen, because how are you gonna have a Gwen that skateboards and plays the drums but is not gay,
but isn't gay? Yeah, no, that doesn't track.
100%.
That'd be.
I would love it.
He was also so weird when he came out of his portal, and he was like, MJ threw that bread at him. He was so awkward. Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker is just so weird. He's so weird, and he should be weird. He should be weird. Don't get me wrong. Peter Parker has to be a weirdo creepo. But I was like, why are you so awkward? Stop being so weird.
He's awkward, but also very cool. Like he's like the coolest awkward
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah,
he's
Spider-Man is
definitely
not cool.
the coolest Peter Parker. Like he has
out of all three of them.
Yeah,
he is
out of
probably
all
the
three of
coolest.
them, he's like the cool Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire is probably the dweebiest Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's the dweebiest.
I think he's the dweebiest now
like,
to us, but I think at the time, I don't know. I felt like Andrew Garfield was the geekiest one. Maybe it's because he's just so hot.
He's
that we
a
just
huge
didn't think of
nerd,
it.
but they made him really cool for some
Yeah,
reason.
he can
I'm like, why is
skateboard. He like skateboards and shit, like in the Amazing Spider-Man. So like, like they made him.
And he's
way
bullying
cooler
the
than
bully
Tobey
in
Maguire.
basketball.
The basketball shit. Like, no, come on.
That's
like
cool,
they made him
That's
too cool.
Peter.
He was way too cool.
Cool Pete, back from the dead.
From the dead. I know. I like this idea of Morbius working on of Tobey Maguire's body. That sounds weird. But yes, I'm working working on his wound and I'm fixing him up, and then potentially maybe even getting involved in that whole Sinister Six scenario.
I'm also just really picturing Morbius starting a cult and being like, you don't have to have just one MJ, Peter. Let me show you the way. And then like Morbius brings him into like his Jared Leto cult, and Tobey Maguire realizes the error of his one woman ways and never returns.
One woman ways.
He's like, oh,
you know what? I
like
mean, Tobey Maguire is on that multiple woman wave in Spider-Man 3, right? He had
he sure is.
Gwen Stacy. He was like using her to get to MJ. So like, you know, he's sort of on his way there. But yeah, no, I love both of these theories a lot. I think I'm going to have to give this to Jessica because I really like her idea of like, you know, splitting first of all, like the multiple, like changing the fates and potentially changing the timeline, improving the timeline just by having changed villains from the events of No Way Home. I like that. It's a really smart idea. And of course, the Across the Spider-Verse connection. I really do think that we're going to see Andrew and Tobey like crossover with those guys, because like it's just super easy to do. It's like it's a voice acting job that'll pay a lot of money and people would be super hyped. So like, you know, I'd love to see them again.
I also just realized with that theory comes them after No Way Home being able to work as a team, because they were only able to work individually, but when they worked as a team, they were like, oh, we are better as a team. So now that they're in the Across the Spider-Verse where they do team up Spider-Man things, they're like, we're good at working on a team now. We can do it now.
Yeah, they'll be like, we're pros at this.
Yeah,
Step aside, insecure Spider-Men who think you have to go at it alone. We've done this before.
I mean, basically, like, I really like this idea. Like, I really like the moment when they learn how to use their Peter Tingle together. And I think that's sort of... I know that sounds so weird. They use it. Oh my god, that's gonna be on a shirt sometime. But no, I really liked when they learned how to use their spider sense together, because like I think that's very important to the overall Across the Spider-Verse narrative of like, you know, like remember when Miles Morales first met his Peter Parker and they had that weird moment. It's like, wait a minute, like you're a spider person like me. I feel like that spider connection and learning how to work together as spider people using your spider sense in unison might be a theme that Across the Spider-Verse uses to, like, you know, face whatever multiversal enemy they need to face in unison together as spider people. So yeah, I think that there's room for Andrew and Tobey to like use their little antenna to find their friends in the animated universe. Like, oh yeah, here you are. I use my Peter Tingle to touch tingles. Okay. Oh God. All right, here we go.
I really hope that whatever universe both of them get sent to, because he's not Peter Parker in those universes either, and nobody knows. I think that Tom Holland should just be himself in those universes, which means that both Tobey and Andrew have seen Tom Holland in drag dancing to Rihanna's Umbrella. And I like to believe that is the new version of their old pal that they are forced to deal with on a
Listen, Peter Parker needs a job now. All right, he has no Aunt May. I think that he's dressing up in drag and doing drag shows and just dancing like Rihanna.
I'm not gonna lie. Every single time that video pops up on my feed, I will watch it 100%, no matter how many times I've seen it before, because he's so good at it. He's so good at
dancing. Went
dancing.
1000% into it, and I'm just like, wow, you went hard on this one.
Bro, he really
I dig
did.
it. But no, I really like all of these theories. So thank you for your amazing brains. But let us see what you guys had to say about this one, because we asked you guys on Twitter where you thought Andrew and Tobey ended up. Cleveland Boy 23 says, I think they ended up in the place that all the Spider-Men were at in the Across the Spider-Verse 2. This is what Jess said. So like, great minds think alike.
Ooh.
Very smart, Nick. Drum Buddy 14 says they were taken to the TVA because Kang pruned their timelines. Which is very interesting. I like that.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of the same thing, too.
Angelica Trey A-Trey says, I'm still trying to figure out who wore the butt pad. Which, that is a mystery that we probably need to address here on the show.
I don't think either of them did. I think they all have big old booties.
Who knows who it is? It's probably Tobey. Just kidding. Marco Gonzalez, Spider-Tato 23 says, maybe they swapped universes. I think that'd be really fun to see Andrew and Tobey's universe and Tobey and Andrew's universe. 80 the Creator says, maybe alternate versions of their homes, like where some of their historical events were changed or deaths didn't happen. Which is, you know, basically sort of what Jess said, like, you know, they changed their fates there. So I think that'd be really fun. But yeah, these are all great theories. Everyone's super smart. I love all your theories. But up next, we respond to one of your theories that you sent us using the hashtag Rogue Theory in Theory Court. But like always, be sure to check out nerdriot.shop, where you can always grab the latest and greatest in new Rockstars gear. Right now, you can grab something from our This Is the Way collection inspired by Season 3 of The Mandalorian. An amazing season. Go watch that season. It's so good. Or just let the world know that you're ready for a seat at the high table with something from our John Wick inspired collection. John Wick is very cool. And it's if you like dogs, go buy this shirt. Support our growing network of content here at New Rockstars and grab some merch over at nerdriot.shop today. All right, ladies, now it is time for Theory Courts, because now I have to represent my client. I had one of my clients came to my office the other day and he said, MT, I have several $1,000s in a theory that I need you to represent. I was like, listen, sir, you may lose this several $1,000s. I'm telling you right now, you'll be my second case.
Sir,
and I don't
you may lose several $1,000s.
That's the first
but
thing
I
you
will
say,
take
sir.
this money.
I'm taking the money, but I will lose. Now, I assure you, I will not.
I'm saying no takesies backsies right now, sir. And while I take this money. But yes, now it's time for me to put my Laura pants on because I'll be representing and defending my client and their wonderful theory here. And my client is Nedak or Nedak. I don't know how
You're
to
already
pronounce
losing.
that.
You're already losing for your client.
On
Can't
Twitter.
even say the name.
I know. I've already taken the money. I don't need to pronounce the name on the check, okay? And he says, or they say, new theory, the Captain America that Red Guardian met was a Skrull. Alexei was bragging to his cellmates that he knew Captain America and that they fought in the 1980s. Captain America has been frozen since 1945. Some think he may have fought Isaiah Bradley. I don't think that really makes any sense. He seemed like he really knew him because he asked Black Widow if Cap talked about him, which shows that he thinks that he did. And it wasn't just a story to make other jail members scared of him. So yeah, I think that this is a really good theory. I think that there's a huge possibility here that there was a Skrull fight between Red Guardian and a Skrull. I think because we know from Captain Marvel that the Skrulls went to Earth and they knew of Earth and they were just walking around Earth. So there's a potential chance here that one of those Skrulls that dropped in Captain Marvel potentially fought him. Fought this man pretending to be Steve, and because he saw Steve on a piece of memorabilia or what the internet wasn't around there. But they went to the Steve Museum. They're like, oh, this is so good. I want to be Captain America too. So they changed their body into Captain America. So yeah, I think this would be really fun. What do you guys think?
Okay, I'm taking the pro this week. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so I agree absolutely that the Red Guardian fought a Skrull version of Captain America.
That's what I'm saying. My client would not lie. They gave me money.
Day. He has no reason to believe he didn't fight the real Captain America. And here is why. Okay, how do you train the guy who you want to become the Soviet version of Captain America? You train him by making him fight Captain America. And as our Captain America was clearly frozen, he was a little chilly cold, he could not come to the phone right now. So they got a Skrull and sorry, oh my gosh. Cough. Just kidding. Cut it out.
Lies. Probable cause.
Lies. I'm sorry, I just coughed. Okay.
Objection.
So,
stenographer.
So how did they get these Skrulls? Why do they have these Skrulls? Why are they turning these Skrulls into Captain America just to fight this guy? Let me remind you about a little show, indie show, very low key, low budget. You may not have ever heard of it, but it's called Stranger Things, baby. Oh yeah, we know that those people in the 80s, they were capturing demogorgons and using demogorgons to basically fight their toughest men, and then the toughest men would get eaten, and they were doing experiments like this, and they were trying to find someone who could be strong enough to defeat them, but they knew that nobody would ever be strong enough to defeat them, so they were basically just feeding them dinner. So I think that the MCU's version of that Stranger Things scenario is that these people who ultimately trained him to become the Russian version of Captain America, they also were experimenting on Skrulls before they gave him the serum. And so they experimented on the Skrulls to make sure that it was safe for humans. So they made the Skrull Captain America first just to test things out. And then they trained the Russian Captain America, aka Red Guardian, by having him fight the Skrull Captain America, believing it to be the real Captain America so that there would be real stakes. That's what I think happened.
I like this, not just because my client presented this theory, and I have to represent my client, but also let us point our attention to a special doggy that I love the most, Cosmo the space dog. All right,
Yeah.
The Russians were interested in space. They had their eyes out into the cosmos, right? And I believe that during their space curiosity, they may have run across a Skrull that they used to train Red Guardian for fighting people.
Yeah,
I think that Whitney has a really great theory here. I think it's a really good representation. But I think that Jess probably had something to say here.
Ladies
Negative Nancy.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I do declare what we got here is perjury, fairy tales, falsities, and I refuse to come to this court today. Stand for any of this.
All right, state your business, state your case.
My name is Jessica Clemons. I'm gonna stop this accent before my actual Southern family watches and goes, "Is she making fun of us?" Okay. Sound theories all around. I want to thank you for your theory, who sent it in, but you're a liar and you're wrong. And let me tell you why you're lying.
But you're a liar.
I'm going to start with some senseless nonsense all the way to facts, right? Number one, during the Cold War, the Soviet Army, right? The Soviet Army recreated the super soldier serum and gave it to the Red Guardian, right? Now, it's up to you guys who you voting for, the Russians or the Americans, but would it be a better serum or would it be a diet down version of what our Captain America is using, right? Which one would it be? Who would have the actual
super
one?
soldier serum, so it's just like super soldier serum with aspartame instead.
It's actually Super Soldier Serum Zero. Get it right.
Super soldier serum zero.
Yeah, it's a tab cola, but it has some Super Soldier Russian serum
It's a
in
Diet Shasta version of the Super Soldier serum.
We are very much aware that in 1983 to 84 he was frozen in ice, and Red Guardian said it was in 83 and 84, so it was during the time he was in ice. And also, if this was the Captain America that he thinks it is, why would a double down Captain America be running a rampage, playing vigilante against the Red Guardian who was stealing launch codes and not get caught? I think the Red Guardian's an idiot, but I don't think he's that much of an idiot to think that he's going up against what is not the real Captain America. So I think this is all a lie coming out of the Red Guardian's mouth, because if S.H.I.E.L.D. knew that there was a Skrull pretending to be Captain America, they would have shut that down immediately. Because we do know that Nick Fury and the Skrulls are very close. So I think the Skrulls, the good ones, would have told him, hey, the Russians stole one of our kind and is forcing them to parade as Captain America and fight the Red Guardian. But what I do like about your theory is that the Red Guardian could go up against a Skrull. That the Red Guardian could go up against a Skrull, right? Wrong. Why would a regular Skrull be able to ever fight the Red Guardian? They would lose. But in this story that the Red Guardian is telling his friends in prison, he beat them. It was launch codes and he beat him. It was all in strength. That's what he said. So I take you to the Marvel numbers right now. So if you look over, if I had a computer, I would just say the numbers out loud. But Brandon forced me in the blue dungeon, so I had to print them out. I had to print them out. There's no computer over here. Just a teleprompter. So as you can see, between the Red Guardian and Captain America wins in strength and durability, while the Red Guardian doesn't. So is that a diet down version of the Super Soldier Serum? I would say so. And there are War Skrulls and Super Skrulls. And if it is a War Skrull can get the exact same abilities as Captain America. So that means he would take on these exact numbers and still beat the Red Guardian. But Jessica, what if it's just a Super Skrull? What it is the Super Skrull? The Super Skrull is much stronger than even Captain America. I had to look at the ads. I had to block the ads.
Printed things out.
The Super Skrull could beat Captain America and the Red Guardian. So if this was a Skrull, it would have won. And instead, in this story, the Red Guardian said he won. So at the end of the day, it's all still perjury and lies by the Red Guardian and was not true. Therefore, it never existed. It is a fairy tale, and it is fallacies, and it is fake lies, and I don't stand for it in the state of Georgia and Alabama, Indiana, wherever they actually have this accent. It doesn't work. It doesn't stand.
Even though I am defending my client, I have to say, Jessica makes some fantastic points.
I have to say that it is truly dedication to print things out and hold them up
I wouldn't have printed it out.
Like we don't have a team of editors.
I didn't think about it.
Have this paper.
I didn't think about it. that people are probably just listening and not really watching. But secondly, I wouldn't have had to do this if I wasn't banished to the Blue Dungeon. I would have just set the numbers on my computer.
Just for all the listeners at home, Jessica has printed off multiple pages to support her argument and has been holding them up to us. So that's what's
Literally
happening
like
right now.
lawyer.
If you're at home and you can't figure out what the heck, what in the hay we're laughing about, that's it.
You gotta go to the
literally
video.
hilarious.
Don't forget to subscribe and like while you're at it when you go watch it.
Like, I really like that you brought up the facts because, like, it's so true. Like, it's Captain America would have beaten Red Guardian in a fight if they actually fought. So if it was a Skrull, it's probably a dude with the strength of a Skrull and doesn't have the strength of Captain America at all. So yeah, I think that this is very sound. I can't even front. But I have to defend my client here, and I have to say that this was actually a Skrull, and my Red Guardian wouldn't lie about fighting Captain America. I think that he was telling that she's a very truthful man. Usually people in prison were framed and were usually telling the truth. So, just kidding. But yeah, no, I think that there's a possibility here. Who knows? But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section down below. You guys be the judge. Because we like hearing from you guys, because you guys got some good brains. Now, before we leave, I want you guys to give me your 30-second theory, but not on a Marvel thing this time. I'm going to do a Disney thing this time. Are you guys ready for a Disney movie? You guys know that small film called Aladdin?
Yes.
It was a very small cartoon. No one really watched it. It was from the 90s. Robin Williams. Really great movie.
I don't want to interrupt you, MT, but this is the second time both of you, I don't think you guys know what a small budget picture is, because your examples have been Aladdin and Stranger Things. So I don't know if you guys know what small little budgets are.
Those are small projects.
Very small budget,
really
indie, no one's ever heard
They're
of
just
it.
No
cult
one's heard of
classics,
it,
you know.
seen it. No
Cult
merch.
classics, absolutely.
Basically. But no, Genie from Aladdin. Everyone knows him as Aladdin's bestie who lived in a lamp, but very few people dare to even theorize how Genie even got inside that freaking lamp until now. So ladies, give me your 30-second theory on how Genie got stuck in the lamp in the first place.
I think he was, this is I didn't know this rogue theory period before this. I am going out off of absolutely nothing. I didn't print anything out for this is what I'm trying to say.
Also, I forgot that this was the rogue question. Yeah. I know that you told us yesterday, but I completely forgot. So I'm also just going off the old noggin here.
Like that's the thing. This is good because this is the 30-second theory. Just let's pitch anything in 30 seconds.
I think Genie was originally a spirit. I think Genie was originally a spirit that was very into a lot of... Okay, so maybe he lived in hell, all right? He's a spirit, he's in hell, he's very into kink and domination situations, and he messed around with the wrong dominatrix. And I think this one put those brass metal bands on him and was like, you know what the safe word is? He never used the safe word, and the ultimate punishment was being locked in this cage. Imagine like... No, don't imagine. Don't imagine. There's kids that watch this. But you get locked in this cage that's a lamp for the rest of eternity, which is the ultimate punishment from a submissive. So I think that's what happened, and it was all an accident on his end. He's probably like got tired of it after a while. He was like, damn, I didn't think about eternity. How long eternity is.
Wow.
I was honestly gonna say the first thing that came into my head was tried to put his dick in the lamp and he got stuck. And then he had to live there forever.
he got fully sucked in.
I'm sorry, MT, but this is what you get when we both forget what the question was and we don't actually think about it.
This is great. I like this because this is legit a 30-second theory. Anything's possible.
You're tempted, and then you fully just get sucked in. You're like, oh!
Yeah, you get sucked in. Like, you're like, I'll just do the tip. And then you just get like,
it's the worst vacuum cleaner of all time. It's the worst vacuum.
The moral of the story is don't try to put your dick in things and always say you're safe for it.
Yeah, the moral of the story is fleshlights feel a lot better probably than a lamp. Don't do it. Oh my God. But no, these theories were great, even though they were just like really crazy and off the cuff. I love it so much. I'm gonna have to give this one to I'm gonna give it to Whitney because I like this.
It's my dick in a lamp.
It's temptation, you know. These are both very sexual theories, but like the temptation.
The temptation is a real one. The temptation's a real one. You're like, well, I could just a tip.
Just a
Genie
bit.
doesn't have a lower
Just a little
half for a reason. So maybe it got stuck and it got poofed off.
See,
that's why it's like a little wispy ghost
eternal
half.
punishment. It's an
like
eternal punishment no
no
matter
penis. Sad. Sad times. That's why he uses comedy to get over it.
It's true.
But anyway, that is it for this crazy episode of Rogue Theory. Thanks to our amazing guests, Whitney Van Lanningham and Jessica Clemons. If you have your own Rogue Theory for any of our topics today, be sure to drop them in the comments below or use the hashtag Rogue Theory on Twitter. You support our channel by checking out all of our awesome merch over at nerdriot.shop. Follow me at MasterTainment, follow New Rockstars on all social platforms, and be sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. See you guys next time. We love you guys so much. Thank you for spending time with us. Bye.